I, 24F, have an older sister, 33F. I had my sons really young at 15 and 18 with my ex-boyfriend. My sister was already out of the house when I had my youngest, so she didn't do any childcare, not that I expected her to, just important for context. I'm really lucky to say that my ex is a very involved father and we have an equal co-parenting schedule we decided out of court for years. We do 1 month on, 1 month off. We live in the same city, so this doesn't affect their schooling, and we've been doing it since we broke up at 18. I understand a month is a long time, but during the time they're away I still see them by taking them to the park, doing drop-offs, movie/dinner night, even sleepovers where they'll stay the night, and their dad does the same, so it's not like during that month we're no contact. We also do nightly FaceTimes. I do love that it gives me time to relax and be child-free, hang out with my boyfriend/friends spontaneously, even get to go out of town if I want. I still get to live as a young adult, and so does my ex, which is why we agreed to the schedule at all. It's raised controversy if I mention it to other moms because they always say they can never go away from their children for so long and make me feel like a shitty mom because I have fun during my month off. It's why I don't really mention it often to other moms. Anyways, my older sister just welcomed her first baby last year and it was amazing. We aren't the closest because of our age gap, but it did bring us closer. Her husband and her separated a few months after his birth, and she's been doing it all alone ever since. With the job market how it is, it took her months to even land an interview, but she got the job. Sadly, childcare in our area is $2,000 a month and she can't afford it, so either the paternal grandmother or I watch him during the week. Our mom would do it, but she had to return to work last year to pay the bills. She can't. Luckily for me, I had my mom to watch the boys when I was underage and when I moved out, but I don't have to worry about childcare since I WFH and my boys are in school now. I don't mind watching my nephew. My sister goes in at 6 and gets off at 2, so it doesn't take up much of my day, and I usually do it 2 or 3 times a week, so it's not too constant. On Thursday, when my sister dropped my nephew off, she had to go downstairs because she forgot his diaper bag and left her purse and phone behind. I live in the 8th floor, so she was gone for around 5 minutes. When she left, her phone rang, and since it was our mom, I answered it to say hello. During the call, I see a notification pop up of someone liking a message my sister sent. It said it's crazy how she can watch my son for me, but when it comes to hers, she doesn't care. I could never go to Jamaica to celebrate a man's birthday when I could be with my kids instead. Deadbeat moms are worse than dads. It shocked me so much I screenshotted it. My boyfriend's birthday is next weekend and we're going to Jamaica for a week. It's my son's time with their dad. When my sister came back upstairs, I acted normal. She said bye and left. I thought about it a lot and I got more pissed off. Why should I be shamed because I don't have to do it alone? How am I comparable to a deadbeat dad like her husband who hasn't seen their son in months with no contact? Here I am doing her a favor, saving her $2,000 a month. She doesn't have all to be insulted in a group chat with people I don't know. When she came to get my nephew, I confronted her. At first she denied it until I showed her the screenshot, then she said it's out of context, so I said to show me the full convo, then she refused. She said sorry but didn't seem sorry at all, she just wanted to leave. I asked her to explain how I'm a deadbeat, then she broke down in tears saying that she's a single mom since she receives no help and I am barely a mom, so I don't understand how she feels. I told her that to leave and she did. Once she left, I called her and told her I wasn't going to be watching my nephew anymore. I didn't want to tell her in person because I know she'd try to guilt-rip me with even more tears. She sent me over 50 texts when I wouldn't answer her calls begging me to answer and that she's so sorry and this wasn't supposed to happen and she regrets it. She said she needs me to watch him since his other grandma can't every day. And that if she gets fired she'll be out of a job again for months and won't be able to afford her bills. I didn't reply. Now my mom and cousins are all blowing up my phone telling me I'm a huge a-hole and to change my mind and accept her apology. I feel used and disrespected but also do feel a bit bad since she does need the childcare. Comment 1. NTA. Your sister should know better than to shit talk the person offering her free childcare. Not to mention her criticisms of you are obviously a complete and total lie. How sad that your sister thinks so poorly of you. She absolutely is not entitled to your free labor. You did well by drawing a clear boundary and enforcing it. Actions have consequences, and your sister should have considered the potential consequences of her actions before disrespecting you so callously. Comment 2. Absolutely not. Your NTA. Toxic is toxic. Your sister is toxic. She shouldn't have been talking that way at all, and now she will learn. What you have set up sounds beautiful, and you and your kid's dad are doing awesome from the sounds of it. Don't feel bad for others' wrongdoings. My 36F daughter's 13F birthday was last weekend. There's this trampoline park in town that offers sleepover parties where the kids could play for a few hours, watch a movie, and have a sleepover on the trampolines. Her school is very small, so there are only 20 students in her entire year. When we were booking the event, she said to only book 19 places. I asked her if she was sure she wasn't missing out someone, but she assured me there were only 19 kids in her class, and I was just misremembering. Fast forward to her birthday, and this girl Camilla shows up with an entire box full of gifts: teddy bears, perfume, candles, nail polish, flowers, chocolates, etc. I remembered picking up my from school at the beginning of the school year and seeing her chatting and being very friendly with Camilla, so I assumed they were quite good friends. When Camilla went up to hug my daughter and wish her a happy birthday, she lightly pushed her away and told Camilla she couldn't attend as we forgot to book her place. I apologized to Camilla and her mother and offered to talk to the people in charge and pay for her place, but my daughter insisted that Camilla couldn't come. Camilla was very distraught over this and started sobbing. I pulled my daughter aside and asked her why Camilla couldn't join, even though they used to be friendly and she'd invited every other student in her year. She said that Camilla was just really weird, obsessive, and creepy, and she didn't want to be friends with her anymore. I asked her if Camilla was bullying her, and she said no, she just didn't want to be around Camilla. Camilla's mother had found out about the party through another parent, and Camilla decided to surprise my daughter knowing she hadn't been given an invite. I returned the gifts to Camilla, apologized again, and gently told her that there weren't enough spaces. Her mother started screaming at me, telling me that I was a grown adult woman bullying a preteen girl. I told her that it was my daughter's birthday party, she could invite whoever she wanted. She accused me of raising my daughter to be a bully, and that she couldn't just invite the entire class and exclude one girl. She claimed that Camilla was my daughter's best friend and she had the right to be invited. I told her that my daughter's a teenager, not a 5-year-old, she can't be forced to invite the entire class just to be nice. I said that I didn't want to raise a doormat. I didn't want to teach her to value the feelings of others at the expense of her own. If my daughter feels uncomfortable around someone, then I prioritize her well-being over that of a stranger's. Camilla's mother is now talking to the teachers to punish my daughter for bullying. I've tried explaining to her that my daughter was simply setting her boundaries, she shouldn't have to face consequences for that. Camilla's mother said that I was an evil BTCH who took joy in bullying little girls. Comment 1. What your daughter did was mean. She invited the entire class with one exclusion. Your daughter is the bully. YTA for not shutting down the party right then and there, for your daughter lying to you about how many kids were in her class. Yes, she can invite who she wants if she does it openly and honestly. She didn't. She lied to you, and no, your daughter wasn't setting boundaries. She was cruel to one kid. I suspect she made a big deal out of giving out the invites as well, given that Camilla knew exactly where and what time the party was at. Comment 2. 100% agree. I was the Camilla when I was in school. All the girls in the class were invited to the birthday parties except me, cause I was a bit weird. It destroyed me, along with the other bullying, and destroyed my confidence and self-esteem for years. I, 35M, am now an engineer who's financially stable and may even be considered rich, but getting here was anything but easy. Growing up in a poor country, my father passed away while my mother was pregnant with me, leaving her to work tirelessly as a housekeeper. The women in the neighborhood, who were once her friends, called her the maid and looked down on her and us, my siblings and me. I have 2 older brothers, Sam and Jim. Both had to drop out of school at 16, not by choice but by necessity. With our father gone, someone needed to bring in money to keep us afloat. They took on whatever work they could find, construction, odd jobs, anything that paid. Watching them shoulder adult responsibilities when they were still boys filled me with both gratitude and guilt. Despite our struggles, my family made enormous sacrifices to send me abroad for my studies. I am forever thankful for their sacrifices and have been sending my family money monthly ever since I got my job. I've paid for both my brothers' weddings, my mother's hospital bills, and much more for my nieces and nephews. A year ago, Sam was imprisoned for possession with the intent to distribute after being caught with drugs in his car. I hired the best lawyer I could find, and although Sam's sentence was reduced, he couldn't avoid jail time. Since then, I've been paying all my brother's bills. The deal was I'd cover essentials but not luxuries or vacations. A month ago, my niece called me in tears, saying she was being bullied because of her crooked teeth and wanted braces. I immediately called my sister-in-law, SIL, and told her to book an orthodontist appointment. She sent me the quote, and I wired the money right away. However, last week, I saw a picture on Instagram of my SIL and her kids at a resort, and my niece's teeth were still crooked. When I asked my niece about the braces, she said they couldn't afford them because I refused to pay for luxuries. I was enraged. I called my SIL and tore her a new hole, telling her that the money was meant for braces, not a vacation. She cried and begged me not to cut off the financial support, but I told her she brought this on herself. I then called my mother and told her I'd be sending money for the kids from now on and that my SIL could get a job to support herself. Jim and my mother think I'm being in a hole and argue that I owe it to Sam, who sacrificed so much for me, to keep supporting his wife. They also called me a control freak for dictating how they use the money, saying if I'm going to be charitable, it shouldn't come with strings attached. Comment 1. NTA money for braces is not money for a vacation. If you owe anything to Sam for sacrificing for you, it's helping his innocent children, which you are still doing. It's not enabling your sister-in-law to prioritize a vacation over her daughter's dental health and well-being. Comment 2. NTA. It's never a happy thing when people obtain things from you by tricks. With her husband in jail, she should have scales of preference. Instead of sending her daughter to lie to you and get money for vacation, she should have actually used the money to fix the girl's teeth. Comment 3. NTA. You are not obliged to support someone else's lifestyle. I'm 31F not going to lie or try to gain sympathy. When I started dating my husband, 52M, it was because he had money and I needed it to pay for my studies. Of course I also liked him for his appearance and personality too, but the main reason was because I was interested in his money like most teenagers. Well, over the months we fell in love and have created a beautiful marriage and family. We have 5 children who are 10, 8, 6, 3 and 1 year old, but his family always treated me like a gold digger. And the worst thing is that even when my husband asked them to respect me, they ignored him and continued treating me badly even in front of the children. And I never responded to their insults until last week when my father-in-law, 86M, jokingly told my husband not to take his eyes off our older daughter because with the example she has as a mother she will end up badly, and I know he said that because my daughter is very affectionate and she always jokes that she is in love with my sister-in-law's husband's brother. And for many it is a joke because she is only 6 years old and we know she is not serious. When my father-in-law said that, my husband got angry and told him not to talk that way, but he continued, so I got angry and told him to shut his mouth. And he asked me, laughing, if it was a lie that I was a girl desperate to hook up with a rich old man. And I yelled at him, telling him that it wasn't his damn problem if I married his son for money, that in fact I started dating him because I was interested in his money, but that if my husband doesn't care, they should shut their mouths. And I don't know why, But when I admitted to having been a witch, they no longer laughed or found it funny to call me a gold digger. On the contrary, they had the nerve to get angry and say that I disrespected them by yelling at them in front of their acquaintances. But I don't think I did anything wrong. In fact, I think they deserve to be treated like that. I mean, I have been part of your family for 13 years and I showed that I love my husband with my life, and I do not deserve to continue being treated like this. Just to clarify, my husband always knew that I was interested in his money. Like, come on, no 18-year-old teenager would date such an older man for love. He is not stupid enough to believe that. He paid for my studies and I pleased him in other aspects. That was our arrangement that obviously changed when we fell in love and decided to start a family. I never hid anything from him. Comment 1. Your NTA here. You've been straight up honest since day one, and your hubby always knew the deal. Those in-laws were begging to be put in check, you simply delivered the blow. Yes, it did start about the money, but turned into real love and a family. Anyone got beef with that, their issue, not yours. Don't let 'em get to you. Keep showing those kiddos what strong looks like. Comment 2. NTA, but your husband should get a spine. You're both aware the relationship started transactional, and if you both fell in love and decided to stay together, then I'm happy for you, but 13 years of insults and he's done nothing to stop them? This should be unacceptable. Comment 3. NTA, after 13 years they are still disrespecting you and in front of your kids. The oldest being 10, they will understand what is going on. Fight back every time they insult you. You insult them right back with something personal, maybe a secret they don't like talking about. If they don't like it, tell them it can all stop if they stop. But their actions will have consequences and you are ready to play now.